Hi YouTube, it's Tracey here. I just wanted to come on because I haven't made a video in a couple of weeks because I have been moving. And so I am now finally in my new place. And so yeah, I sold my house. Yay! Glad to have that not hanging over my head anymore. But here in the last couple of weeks since I've been here, I have been suffering with a little bit of adjustment disorder and some depression going on. Because I totally, even though I needed to move, I'm glad to have moved, but I'm not happy where I moved to. Because I moved to a city totally for the wrong reasons. And, yeah. So anyway, I have just been in a low energy mood. As you can see, I have these boxes and stuff behind me, and on the side of me because I still need to put my house in order. I've only put away a few things, but as far as this office here, I haven't really done anything. I just not really motivated. So yeah, change is difficult, isn't it? I'm reading this book. This is it right here. It is called Addiction to Love, Overcoming Obsession and Dependency in Relationships by Susan Peabody. It's actually a really good read. It's about love addiction. And after I finish, I will possibly come back and do a review on the book. There's no support groups in my area that I'm living in for love addicts, and I am actually considering starting one here. But that's something that I need to pray about and see how God directs me in that with that. But I'm actually considering it. Love addiction is a growing thing. A lot of people don't talk about it. Some have never even heard about it because when people think about addictions, they usually think about alcoholism or drugs or even codependency. But love addiction is really real. And it's common in a lot of people. Love addicts tend to just not be able to have healthy relationships, and they're usually in dysfunctional situations. And they stay because they're addicted to being in a relationship. So, yeah. So anyways, I'm reading that book. I'm considering starting a group. I am a counseling psychology major, MFT trainee, and so it would also be good experience too, and right in my field or line of work anyway. So, but I'm kind of fearful a little bit about starting a group that would be meeting weekly. But we'll see, right? But yeah, I just wanted to come on, say hi to everybody, check in, tell you what's going on in my life. I am in this change period in my life. And, as you know, change can be uncomfortable. And that's how I'm feeling. And that's adding to my stresses and depression, too. Because I feel like God is pulling me back, you guys, like an onion. And, sometimes when we get pulled back like an onion and we are faced to look at our stuff, it stinks. And we don't like it. And it can become uncomfortable. It can become very painful and just hurtful. And so that's kind of like how it's been for me. I've been going through some stuff for the last, actually over a year, because I've had to make some big decisions and stuff in my life. And as I move closer and closer, God just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling and showing me more stuff. A lot of times in our life when we go through or we have issues, sometimes we don't want to deal with it. Sometimes we choose not to even look at our stuff. So what we do is we usually put them in a closet. I'm just going to use a closet as my little analogy here. But we put them in a closet and then we close the door because then when we don't see them, we don't have to deal with them, right? So they just keep going in the closet. Every now and then, you might see something like creeping out underneath the door, and then you say, oh, God, let me put that back. And so you take the broom and you kind of sweep it back and keep that door nice and tightly closed, locked. But then there comes a point where you're like, dang, I need to do some spring cleaning. So when you start your spring cleaning, you open the closet and all this stuff falls out. All this garbage falls out. All the trash, and it stinks. And it's like, oh my God. Now you got to deal with it. Now you got to face it. Now you got to clean it up. And that's kind of like how I feel in my life. I feel like on the inside, I'm being spring cleaned. And it's an uncomfortable place to be. It's also painful. Change is like giving birth. Just as when we carry our babies for 9 months, and we're going through transition and getting used to the idea about being a mother or being a parent, we're preparing ourselves. But then when the birth, those labor pains start, when the labor starts, it begins to hurt. And then when we get in active labor, it's really hurting. Change is much like that. It's like being in labor and having pain. But just like when you give birth, you have something to look forward to, because at the end of all that pain, there's going to be a beautiful bundle of joy. At the end of enduring our change and the things that we have to go through in the stages of the change, there's glory on the other side. And when we get to that glory, then we can look back and say, man, whew, you know what? That was painful and it took a lot, but I made it over. Now I'm here. And then the new journey can begin. So that's kind of like where I am in my change, going through some stuff, spring cleaning on the inside, moving and cleaning up here and trying to get things in order. But I know that glory is on the other side, and everything will be okay, no matter how painful it can feel or even be while I'm in it. You guys enjoy your weekend and be blessed. See you next time. Bye-bye.